Hey everyone! So, in 227 years, there have been over 700 attempts to either edit or remove the Electoral College. None of them have worked. The Electoral College is still the same as how it was outlined within the Constitution by our founding fathers. And I believe that this shows that the Electoral College is needed, and majority of Americans over the past 227 years have understood this as well. Now, people will keep trying to change the Electoral College, so you need to understand what's good about it to make sure that a new policy isn't voted in that gets rid of one of the major upsides to the Electoral College. Now, I got my information from procon.org, which is run by Britannica, ThoughtCo, Politico, NPR, History, USA.gov, Congressman Wahlberg, and the National Archives. I will link all of my sources below so you are free to go and see the information for yourself. Now, I'm going to give a brief overview as to what the Electoral College is and how it works, and then I'll go into some of the major reasons why I believe the Electoral College is great, along with some reasons why people want to change it and why those reasons don't really make sense to me. Now, the Electoral College is the process that the US uses to remain a representative democracy. And USA.gov explains it very nicely. We as people elect electors. Then through the popular vote at a state level, we tell the electors who we want as the president. Then the electors go and elect the president. And they go and elect the president according to NPR on the first Monday after the second Wednesday in December. And the latest that this can be is the 19th. Now, electors are elected at the state level, usually by popular vote. And usually the electors put in their electoral votes by the popular vote of the state. But that changes based on what state you are in, because states are allowed to decide that for themselves. And along with that, how electors are elected and what qualifies somebody to be an elector also changes from state to state. Now, I believe the Electoral College is the fairest system we have come up with as of yet. And Alexander Hamilton said the Electoral College is, if not perfect, it is at least excellent, which I believe is a very good way to put it. And because the Electoral College forces the president to be accountable to the entire nation. And most people would argue that regardless of if we had the Electoral College or not, the president would still care about the nation as a whole. And Gary Gregg from Politico actually put it very nicely as to why that is not the case. He said, if the United States does away with the Electoral College, future presidential elections will go to candidates and parties willing to cater to urban voters and skew national policy towards big city interests. Small town interests and rural values will no longer be their concern. Because it won't be. They will be concerned with getting the most votes possible if we elected the president solely by popular vote. Because we have the Electoral College, they're forced to build campaigns on a national platform and gain electoral votes from different regions. And it involves the whole country, from downtown New York to the middle of nowhere in Michigan. Now, another good reason that the Electoral College is still around is because the Founding Fathers originally made it because they believed it would help preserve federalism. And according to ThoughtCo, it does. It's actually an almost perfect example of federalism. Federalism being the sharing of powers between state and national governments is a perfect example because we at the state level elect the electors. Then the electors go to the national level and elect the president. So it's a nice sharing of powers. Now we're going to get into why some people try to change it. The Electoral College can mean the person who won the popular vote loses the election. In 227 years, though, this has happened a grand total of 5 times. And history gives us these years as 1824, 1876, 1888, 2000, and 2016. President Obama received 51.3% of the popular vote in 2012, but 61.7% of the electoral votes according to procon.org, which means that the person who won the popular vote can still very easily win the electoral votes. In fact, vast majority of the time, that's what happens. Out of 45 presidents, only 5 of them have lost the popular vote. Now, the Founding Fathers originally made the Electoral College as a safeguard against uninformed voters. And I get why that would be a reason people try to change it, but we don't use it for that anymore. Everyone's like, now we have technology, we don't need it to guard against uninformed voters. One, not everyone uses the whole technology thing. Not everyone actually does their research before they vote. It's sad, but it's true. Some people don't. But furthermore, the Electoral College no longer protects against the uninformed vote. It protects against the overpopulated cities getting control of everything and getting control of national policies. So, a quick recap. We elect the electors and then tell the electors who we want. Finally, the electors elect the president. And in doing so, we preserve federalism. We get a nice balance of power, and we kind of just keep on trucking. And the pros at this point in time outweigh the cons of the Electoral College. So unless your plan is better than the 700 previous attempts, it's not going to work. The Electoral College could be better, but as Alexander Hamilton said, the Electoral College, if not perfect, is at least excellent. And it's the best we've got right now.